Fellow Earthlings, welcome. I'll split up the Battle of Quatre-Bras in several videos. Enjoy. June 16, 1815. The Battle of Quatre-Bras is about to begin, but first a quick recap. June 15, 1815. See, here are the dispositions of all the troops at the start of the Waterloo campaign, also known as the 100 Days War or the War of the 7th Coalition. It's Invasion Day. Napoleon spread out his forces along the whole Belgian border and ordered equal activity from all his troops to keep the Allies second-guessing of where the main French blow will fall. The French are in blue, the Allies in red and the Prussians in black. Breugel and Wellington agreed to march to each other's aid if they were attacked by their common enemy. Wellington feared that Napoleon would outflank him on his right in order to cut off his supply lines from the sea. However, Charleroi, held by Zieten's 1st Corps, will be the first target. From there, Napoleon will drive a wedge between the Allies and march to Brussels. As you can see, the Allies are spread out. Napoleon will secretly concentrate his forces during the night, but French deserters will unravel his plans. However, Napoleon will still surprise the Allies with his quick maneuvering and gain a day's march on Wellington. June 16, 1815. Napoleon and Breugel are eager to start a battle between giants at Ligny. French left flank needs to be secured. This will be done at Quatre-Bras. June 16, 1815. Here are the dispositions just before the Battle of Quatre-Bras. Mouton's 6th Corps acts as a reserve force and is ordered to concentrate all the ambulances. They look like this. Mouton's 6th Corps should be the rear guard of the Armée du Nord, according to plans. However, Terlan's 1st Corps is in the rear, due to late orders from Ney to concentrate his forces. Kellerman was expected to be already with Ney at Quatre-Bras, but is late due to loyalty issues with his troops. Gérard's 4th Corps is to link up with Napoleon at Fleurus. Jeannin is sent to check up on Ney due to a lack of communications. Gérard is detached from the left wing to support Napoleon at Ligny. At Fleurus, Napoleon is concentrating his forces for a decisive battle with the Prussians. Breugel and his Prussians prepare for battle, but are still waiting on Bülow's Corps. They are too far away to support them at Ligny. Jérôme, the youngest brother of Napoleon, marches to Pfranzen with Foy in front . Bachelot, already at Pfranzen, with Rey, Ney, Denouet-Lefebvre and Piré. The Allies disobeyed orders and concentrated at Quatre-Bras instead of Nivelles. If they obeyed orders, Quatre-Bras would be in French hands already and they could march unopposed to Brussels. Luckily, Quatre-Bras is still in Allied hands and reinforcements are on the way, but they are still spread out very far, because Wellington still feared that this attack was a feint and that a real attack would come at his right flank. So this is one of the main reasons while the Allies are still not concentrated. June 16, 1815, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Quatre-Bras. Dutch and Belgian troops spread out so they look like a larger force. Ney assumes that Terlan's first corps is close by and would march quickly towards the cannonades. French cannons roar, flocks of birds fly away from the ear-splitting sounds. As Allies take up defensive positions, French skirmishers forge ahead. The advance is 4 kilometers or more than 30 football fields long. Skirmishers formed a screen to give covering fire for their marching comrades, disrupting enemy movement. These men had the most contact with the enemy. They maintain a constant irregular fire upon them, trained to fight in pairs and in open order. The objective is to get the upper hand, let the opposing skirmishers withdraw the no man's land between the armies, so that French skirmishers can advance into range of the enemy's battalions and to snipe the higher officers and softening the enemy's ranks before the main attack. The commander of 2nd Corps Artillery, Jean-Baptiste-Édouard, advances with his cannons, targeting the 27th Jagers, acting as skirmishers. Here's a picture of the Dutch 27th Jagers, acting as skirmishers for the Allied left flank. Ney started the main attack. Colonne d'attaque! The columns consisted mainly of young guard infantry, as they march under heavy artillery barrages. Pachelou leads the attack with Jamet, Husson and Campi behind him. Campi attacks La Reille farm. It doesn't take him long to take this position. While Piret gallops to secure the right flank, Poitiers follows suit. Piret leads the Polish Red Lancers. It's an elite squad that was with Napoleon on Elba. Poitiers leads Chasseurs à cheval. This is a picture of a trumpeter of the Chasseurs. Here's a picture of Poitiers. Jamet is ordered to take Jemiancourt farm. Gauthier acts as a reserve force. The Richemont is the chief of engineers with some grenadiers in the back. Lacroix is the Chief of Staff of Rey's 2nd Corps. Rey fought Wellington in Spain and fears that there are allies hiding out of sight, because this is Wellington's style. Belleveld's artillery focuses on Jamet's column, who are slowed down tremendously by a creek. The muddy terrain slows down movement, and they are now easy targets for the cannons of Belleveld. Husson attacks Piromont. Here's another picture of the Young Guards. French march on slowly, not sure with how many enemies they are dealing with. Jamet is almost across the creek when something unexpected happens. Allies advanced unnoticed and line up. Jamet advances with 9th Division when he suddenly encounters a stream in front of large thorn hedges and cornfields up ahead. They get fired upon at relatively close range by Belleveld's artillery battery, when all of a sudden a volcano of fire erupts. French are in a state of confusion, as they can't see where the fire is coming from. Belleveld's artillery battery wreak havoc amidst French ranks, as the 27th skirmishers have plenty of time to withdraw safely, as the French are in no position at the moment to chase the Allies. Dutch 27th Jagers perform a fighting retreat in the face of overwhelming forces. The French advance slow but steadily on their right flank. The Allies move their right flank into the southern edge of Bois de Bossu. General de Pourponcher orders Colonel Westenberg's Dutch 5th Battalion or National Militia to strengthen the Allied center. The Prince of Orange leads the men. 5th Battalion marches on as they come under French artillery barrages. Jamet is almost at Jemiancourt farm, but he will walk in another ambush. This time, Colonel Higonnet leads the men. Colonel Higonnet, with his 108th, orders sappers and grenadiers up front to open up the thorn hedges, all this under fire from the Dutch. The Dutch fire a devastating volley. After a struggle, French troops pass through the openings and form up in line, but Belleveld's artillery starts to wreak havoc within the French lines. After another Allied volley, the French are losing courage. The French retreat back through the openings, but Higonnet acts quickly and orders his 108th to face front. They reform at strategical positions, by doing so, turning the right wing back in line formation. As Higonet's first line kneels down, Béarnais up front, second line stands with Béarnais in line. Allied momentum is halted by Higonet's 108th. The last French comrades move out of the line of fire. Higonet's 108th fire a devastating volley on the militiamen. "Recross the hedge, man!" and charge with their bayonets. The Dutch retreat with the 108th hot on their tails. Next target, Jean-Baptiste-Édouard farm. This is the Allied center. If the center breaks, Quatre-Bras will be soon in French hands, but this is for another time.